With 2024 being behind us, it is important that we set up new goals for the upcoming year. We need new goals to have more motivation, direction, and even a sense of purpose, which we would gain compared to people without any goals or resolutions who would be just mindlessly wandering around not knowing what to do and where to start. So let's talk about how to set them up. To do that correctly, we need two components, and both of them are very important and they have to be working together to get us to our goals. We need to figure out what we need to do and where we aim to get. So the actually what to do part is the most important one, where let's use an example of starting out doing art. If you want to start drawing in 2025, so your what to do would be practice, let's say 2 hours a day, and that's your to-do component. But where you want to get is obviously depends on how you set it up. But for example, one finished artwork per week, which what most people do is they only set up where they want to get part. With that being, they identify as, oh, I want to do one piece a week. But that's not really what you do. Like, you cannot just do one piece a week. That is like, it is a destination, it's a goal, but it's not what you actually can do. So we need to set up both of them. So couple of hours of practice and where you get at the end. It might be like finished artwork a week, and the end of the year it might be like covering all fundamentals throughout the year, whatever it is. But the most important one is that you also have something that you actually do throughout the day. With all of this, we also have to have the right mindset for this to work. And I advise to have a high standard for yourself and low expectations for the outcome. And what that really means is that you'll do your best, you'll actually follow through with your goal, have high standard to what you holding yourself to, but you don't really expect much when it comes to the outcomes. Because if you expect a lot, like, life will never be as good as you wish for it to be. So there's literally no reason to have high expectations. But if you have low expectations, it will be easy to surpass them and actually feel great about yourself and get more and more motivation throughout you achieving your goals. Now, this all sounds great, but you might be wondering, why is this video coming out late into January? Meanwhile, it would have made way more sense for it to be out on the first week, on the 1st of January, whenever people are actually setting up their goals and resolutions. But the reality is, sometimes you do fail. Sometimes you set up goal and you don't follow through for whatever reason, and that happens to me all the time as well. And I find what is really important is that you take this as a learning opportunity. Like, you take this, the fact that you fail, and you try to not really get demotivated, like reconsider you even doing the whole thing to begin with, but you try to reassess why you failed. And sometimes people do that and they think, oh, I just gotta try harder, you know, like if I don't draw today, well, I'm gonna try to draw harder tomorrow, or like make up for that lost time, or like work extra hard, or like push myself extra hard. They use a lot of willpower, but I don't actually think that that works at all. I think that if you've been consistently failing at something, and sometimes you just can't even bring yourself to do the stuff that you want to do, and it means that you're actually doing it wrong. The whole approach is just flawed. It's just not working. And so at this point, what you need to do is like literally reconsider how you're even going about that. So maybe the part where you set up your goal is just kind of worded wrongly. Like, if you think that you need to do art every day and like for X amount of hours, maybe that's too many hours. Maybe you need to just to give yourself just a window to get into, like make yourself draw for like 30 minutes or something, the bare minimum, like something that has to get you started. Otherwise it just doesn't work. And obviously it's gonna be personal for everybody, but I find that you really need to not really work harder, but like to know yourself, to figure out why you struggle with certain things and get better or have easier time with other things, and lean into just really making it easy for yourself and learning. Like, every time you kind of fail at your goal, which, let's be honest, if you aim to be drawing every single day and one of those days you just skip for no reason, you just don't feel like drawing, that's pretty much you failing at your goal. And it doesn't mean that you should not draw tomorrow or after tomorrow or that it's like bad at all. It means that you like there is an opportunity for you to get better at like following your goals or like learn from the mistake that you've had. And obviously you need to like reassess the whole thing, reconsider the goal, reconsider the ways you approach this goal, and get back on track as fast as possible. Sometimes it takes you to like literally put the expectations down. It takes just lowering the kind of what you need to do. Maybe like you can afford like to do 4 hours a day. Maybe that's totally reasonable. Maybe you need 2 hours, but whatever it is, you gotta rethink your approach and learn from it. Another thing that might be not as much of art related, but I would also advise to set up other goals that will be in support of your main ones. So let's get back to the example of doing art. If you not only strive towards starting at art and doing better at art consistently, but maybe also on the side you have goals when it comes to your health, to your, let's say, other hobbies or work, it is quite often very productive to have like many things that you're looking towards, many things that you're working on. So if you, let's say, succeed in one thing, you also gain this like boost of confidence that allows you to work on other things kind of with more belief, with more power in yourself as well. So like they kind of feed into each other. And also if you fail at one goal, it doesn't really like, and you succeed in other goals, you'll still have more faith in yourself to follow through with the one that you're failing in, because you know you're succeeding in all those other areas. So they really kind of feed into each other, and I really advise for you to set up multiple goals and have like multiple hobbies that you work on at the same time. Yeah, so with all of that, I would like to get at my art goals, like what do I really want to do this year, and show this as an example of how I structure my goals. So one of the goals that I have is to get better at doing line art or drawings, which if you've been following my art, you've noticed that all of those are pretty much paintings. I've never done line art throughout years of me doing art. I don't really do any like drawings or sketches. I just pretty much go straight up in paintings and painting with shapes and colors right away. So this year I want to tackle that. And the way I want to do that is really just every day whenever I stream art, I will dedicate like half or more of the stream towards doing those sketches and drawings, and only use pretty much, you know, drawing tools, like no painting allowed for that kind of practice. And there is no really like a milestone goal here. It's just like to get better, because for me the reward would be if I like acknowledge at the end of the year that I've been trying to get better at it consistently. That is like good enough to motivate myself. And the daily activity is literally like every single stream I do that. Another art goal, which is actually more painting related, is get a more recognizable art style. And it's also like it's not a end point. It's just like it's a progress where like your art style is either more or less recognizable. And I've been working on that throughout the last year as well. But I guess what will take me into doing that is just kind of continuing what I've already been doing last year, which is just kind of not really trying to study any other artists and kind of just pretty much following my own intuition throughout art and doing art. And I've found that I have actually a lot of success doing that, and it's actually very, very fun and also motivating, just seeing how my art kind of takes its own turn. Yeah, kind of like an abstract goal, but I think like the end point is what every artist is trying to look for in their art. For their art to be like recognizable is their own, and it's like it's a big thing for every artist, and it's definitely something that I've been thinking about a lot recently as well. And the more kind of achievable, the more down-to-earth goal to say is 200 finished pieces per year, which last year I did almost like 160, and I definitely know that I can do more. So this year we aim at a humble 200 artworks, which are very achievable for me, I think. If I don't sleep and fall throughout the year. So yeah, and with that being said, guys, I really want to ask you, well, like, what are your goals for this year? Like, what are you looking forward to? And what do you do if you slip up? Because for me, that's a big thing. Like, it's everybody can set up new goals, and it's easy to grind that momentum whenever you're motivated. It's easy to be in the zone and working towards them. But what do you do if you actually, you know, stop for a week or two or a month? Like, how do you come back? Not even physically, but like mentally. How do you even justify yourself? Because I get a lot frustrated at myself and very, very demotivated if I ever slip up on my journey. Yeah, so that's all for today. I appreciate you all watching, guys, and if you like the content and want to support me, you can check out my Patreon or my prints.